How can you start your own small business with little money or experience? I'm gonna share a little bit of what I've done to become an entrepreneur. I started when I was 19. So I thought I'd show you a little bit, a tour of where I work and live most of the time here. I call it Knowledge Society Headquarters. That's the name of one of my companies. But yeah, this is, you might have seen some of my other videos. I like cars. I just got the new Ghost. That's the 2016 Rolls-Royce Ghost. There's a Ferrari and Lambo and Maserati, and books, of course. But let me show you some of the other stuff and talk to you on 3 things that you can do today to be able to live out that dream. I read that about 80% of people dream of starting their own business. Maybe you have an idea in your head. Maybe you have an invention. Maybe you know that there's more for you than the 9-to-5 kind of cubicle job. And so let's talk about that in this video and walk around a little bit. So yeah, this is, like I said, I call it Knowledge Society. You can see up on the, got a little doormat made. I think one of the things that makes it so appealing to be your own boss, one is you can work from home. So I have an office, but different times in my career, especially when I first started, I just worked from home. You know, now I can do the same thing here, work from home. I didn't start out in a place like this. I started out in a little teeny mobile home, sleeping on a couch with only $47 in my bank account. So if you're watching this and you want to know how to start your own business with little money or experience, I'll give you hope that it's been done a lot. I've been able to do it, and many other people. You know, if you look at the amount of people who started in their garage, whether it's Steve Jobs or, there's kind of that saying, start in the garage. It's millions of people started small. One of my mentors, Alan Nation, used to say, you got to think of yourself, and this is my first tip for you, you got to think of yourself like an acorn. You know, an acorn in a tree starts out that small and turns into a huge tree, but it doesn't do it overnight. So what I'm about to show you is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not something that I'm promising you you're going to go from zero to hero, from broke to millionaire overnight. If you ever hear that, you know, you're being tricked. But what I will tell you is that oftentimes, okay, if you follow the principles laid out, like I said in that acorn analogy, it happens way faster than you think. It doesn't have to take 40 years, you know. Maybe if you want to be a billionaire, that takes longer, but what I want to talk about is more about how to create a lifestyle that you enjoy, where you don't have to commute in traffic all the time, where you don't have to have a boss that you don't like, where you don't have to work for a company you don't really believe in what they're doing, and you're just doing it for money so that you can have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. You know, thank God it's Friday. That's the worst way to live. So number one, understand there's this acorn process of growth. And what that helps you do is structure your businesses, especially your first business, or maybe you started one before, your second business, structure accordingly. Most people come to me and they go, you know what, Ty? I got $1 billion idea. And I'm like, have you ever started a company that made 6 figures? And they're like, no. And I'm like, have you ever, I got some fish here, by the way. I like the, come down here and read sometimes, watch the fish in the living room. So when you understand that you don't have to have $1 billion idea right now. In fact, you don't even have to set your sights at $1 billion right now. You could just set your sights at 6 figures. There was a Nobel Prize winner, and this is my number 2 point for you in starting your small business. Aim your target towards recent research. So what's your goal for that business, maybe for income? Daniel Kahneman won a Nobel Prize as an economist, and he found that you achieve a new level of happiness and lower anxiety and frustration if you can make around $70,000 or $80,000 a year as a baseline. So that's a starting point. For you, if you've already figured out how to make 70 or 80, you can ramp up. And so the third principle that I talk about is what I call the rule of 10. So what the rule of 10 is when you're starting out your business, and I'm going to be putting a link, if this is helping you and you want to know more, I'm going to put a link below that you click. It's somewhere, it might be up here on the video or below in the description. Click that link. It's going to take you to my website. And on my website, I'm going to talk to you about some specific businesses that I think you can open up. I think no matter if you're young or old, whether you live in the US or in other countries, whether you have a lot of experience or you don't have a lot of capital to start, I know some great starter businesses, some great ones that I did to start out. And there's some specific new trends happening in the world with social media that if you catch this trend early, you're going to be way ahead of the game. If you're not sure what business you'd want to start, you could start this one part-time or full-time. And I think it has great earning potential, okay, if you do it right. So I'll put a link for that. But this third principle I was talking about, the rule of tens, this is kind of the backyard here. I got pool, and this is a pretty big house. It's got 16 bedrooms and 18 bathrooms, and it's got a guest house and basketball court and gym and cool pool, and I use this for a lot of business networking stuff. I live here most of the time in Beverly Hills, but I've got some other places in I like to travel, and one of the things, if you follow this rule of tens, you'll be able to travel the world and make money while you're having fun, which is really the kind of the holy grail. So the rule of 10 says if your first goal should be to make $100 a month with your small business, from home, part-time or full-time. Then you go up by 10 times. So try to make $1,000 a month. Once you figure out how to make 1,000, try to make 100,000 a month. Once you figure out how to make 100,000 a month, then you can go from there. Then you have a 7-figure business. You can try to make $1 million a month. Once you figure out how to make $1 million a month, then you can try to go and make 10 million a month. So it's like a ladder. You need to step stool your way to success in your small business. One of my mentors used to say, you don't have to try to leap forward. You can just creep forward slowly. And that's, like I said, my first business when I was 19, it made $12,000. I had a business partnership with one of my mentors, made 12 grand for about a year's worth of part-time work. I was actually on a farm, and I rented out another farm and ran a little business out of it. And what that gave me, though, was the confidence. I thought 12 grand, I actually thought was a lot of money back then. But in hindsight, I realized what it really gave me was not 12 grand, but it gave me confidence. And then I was at my next business, made more. And then I hit a 6-figure business. And then I was, so you're making 100 grand a year. And then I was able to make, businesses that did over $1 million. And then you just keep going up, businesses that do more than 10 million. So you can follow in that path. There's nothing special about what I did except one special thing. And this is my bonus point. One huge advantage that I have had in my past, because I wasn't born with a lot of wealth. Well, I was born to a single mom in Long Beach, California, and my dad was in prison, so it didn't have a traditional family structure. But one advantage I did have is one of my mentors when I was 19 gave me a simple formula. I call it the GPS for creating your own business. And I've been able to create multiple businesses using this GPS formula, which incorporates some of the points I gave you before and some other ones. And I've never seen it fail. Now, it doesn't mean every idea I have turns into, a billion-dollar idea. No. What it means is they all do fairly well, and some do amazingly well, but there's no horror stories. And 80%, 80 to 90, depending on which statistics you read, of people who start a business fail within 5 years. There's a good book on that. And one of the reasons is because people don't have a GPS. Whenever you're driving in a car, nowadays, everybody uses a GPS. But when it comes to starting a business, people just try to wing it and do it on their own. Don't ever do that. Don't fall for that trap of overconfidence where you go, I don't need a map. Everybody, airplane pilots use maps to get where they're going in GPS. Ship captains and a good entrepreneur, whether you're just starting out or you're already experienced, better quality map. Somebody who laid out, here's how you start this kind. If you want to open a restaurant, you need to have a map from somebody who's opened successful restaurants, mentors. If you want to make money selling things in e-commerce on the internet, you need to have a map. Here's how somebody already made money in e-commerce, and then you can pick and choose the best things that apply to you. So, like I said, there's many ways to get those maps. I won't go too long in this video, but for those of you, if you're really interested, I've got a few business ideas that I'll give to you for free. You can copy these maps. I've done these type businesses and they work very well. So I'm going to put a link below. You click, it'll take you to a page on my website where you can find out how to learn about those maps. You can watch a video that fully explains a sample of a business map, a business plan that you can have. You need to have a good business plan. And a good business plan should be like a map. So click this link below and I will see you over on my website. It's completely free to watch. So you don't have to worry, you don't have to enter a credit card to watch the video. And it's stuff you haven't heard before. It's what they should have taught us in school, but they didn't. And you're gonna get that right now. So take some time, okay? And when you go over this video, if you click here and the video is no longer there, I've taken it down. A lot of times I put stuff up for a while and then I take it down because you know, I move on to the next thing. So take the time now while that video is still up. If you go there and the video is gone, you know, you snooze, you lose. But if it should be there, and if not, we'll have like a waiting list email where you can get your free guide, your free business plan. Okay, so click the link here, wherever it is, and I'll see you over on my website.